As soon as this Corona nightmare is over, a buddy and I are getting back into Warhammer Fantasy. This means more terrain to make, and in this video I'm going to pimp some old wire trees. Let's start by taking a look at the result. Hi everybody, welcome to Dark Matter Workshop. My name is Gert and I love model trees. However, I do not love the huge amount of time it takes to make them. So this video is about working with cheap wire trees and try to bring them to a higher level of realism. Let's start by taking a look with what we have to work with. This is the old forest. It has seen better days indeed. And these are the old trees that we are going to pimp. Start off by ripping off the little root systems. After deconstructing, it's time to rebuild the trunks. I want these to be quite a bit longer. 6mm wooden dowel, balsa wood to be exactly, so very soft, very easy to texture, very easy to cut. I want the trunks to be thinner near the top of the canopy, so I use a hobby knife to shave off the excess wood. A good sanding with some fine grit sandpaper, and the trunks are ready to be used. Bit of texture with a needle tool to simulate the wood grain. Just simply scrape it in. As I said before, balsa wood is very soft, very easy to manipulate. Nothing too fancy, just a couple of lines, and then we can glue on the wire trees after making a little hole at the top. Here we have a bunch ready. To simulate the branches, I experimented with metal wire. However, I was not happy with the results, so I switched to something more natural, namely the dried hairs of a camel's scrotum. These were chopped up into smaller pieces. I made holes into the wooden dowels, and then the fibers were glued in with a little bit of super glue. I use scissors to trim the hairs, a bit longer at the top near the canopy and a bit shorter at the bottom. 5mm MDF basis. Why? Well, it's strong, durable, it gives weight to the pieces so they don't fall over easily, and it's easy to manipulate. I'm going to cut out the basic shape with a handsaw. Then I use a hobby knife to bevel the edges, and then I make sure I get a nice clean result with a bit of sandpaper. Texture number 2, Woodland Scenics Fine Turf and PVA glue. I simply paint on the PVA glue on the wooden dowels and on the branches, especially the branches at the top, and then simply a matter of sprinkling on the fine turf. In some places I want the texture to be a little bit thicker, so I push in a little bit more of the fine turf. This is going to make your fingers a little bit green, so you know, it might seem you just did some dirty things with Kermit the Frog. For the ground texture we will be needing PVA glue. I prefer the fast drying professional type, a mixture of dried herbs, thyme, rosemary, basil, oregano, also known as herbe de Provence. Woodland Scenics Fine Turf. The color is not important because we are going to add some burnt umber. Craft paint is perfect for these kinds of uses. We are going to bind everything together with wall filler or speckle. And finally some dried moss that we are going to rip up and throw into the mixture. With the bases all textured, it's time for a painting. Quick shout out before we get kicking on the painting to David Nandrin and Anatomical Bomb, my new Patreons. Welcome to the fold, gentlemen. First step in the paint job was to spray the entire tree black and then a zenithal highlight with gray spray paint. I didn't bother with the overspray on the bases. This is going to give another slight color variation, which is nice. I'm going to use only two colors on the trunk, a green Vallejo wash on the texture and then a Ajax Earthshade by Citadel on all the bark parts. I also applied both washes to all the branches, and then the Ajax Earthshade was used on the bottom just sporadically, a couple of blotches here and there. Time for some highlights. First one is beige brown and a second one with cavalry brown, which is a bit reddish in tone. This gives a nice contrast with the green of the tree. Last work on the basis is some homemade grass tufts, simply applied with a bit of super glue. And I didn't went overboard, as you can see by the trees at the back. Just some sporadic bushes here and there. Final painting step is a coat of medium green on all the canopies to blend all the trees together. And that's it. Let's take a closer look at the finished result. And that's it for this project. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please like, subscribe, you know what to do. Check out the description below for a bunch of links if you want to support the channel or if you want to follow me on social media. And I'll see you soon for a new video here on Dark Matter Workshop. Till then, bye.